Hello, and thank you for joining us again today. We're looking at some more objects from Wesley's house, and you can see the objects, teapots and a coffee pot standing in front of me here. So these are 18th century pots. They are all made from creamware, which was very fashionable in the 18th century. It's a type of earthenware, but unlike earthenware, it's not dark. It's light in colour, which you can see here. So it's not a glaze, but the body is actually made of a very light ceramic. It's very light altogether, doesn't weigh a great deal, very durable, and it was easy to glaze as well, so quite hygienic, much more so than salt glaze in the early 18th century. Now we've got two teapots and a coffee pot. Teapots are usually more bulbous and round because the tea needs space to develop its taste. Coffee pots are usually slightly higher and not quite so bulbous. So maybe we'll make a start with this. Very nice detailing on this one. It's transfer printed, so it's not painted by hand. It's a print that's been put onto the body and then fired on. So we've got Wesley on one side, and we've got a verse at the back. Let your conversation be as becometh the gospel of Christ, and some very nice motifs around. Detailing on this pot is really nice. We've got some detailing on the spout there. Beautiful flowers here on the handle, and also at the top. If we take this off, we've got a flower there. Nicely done. They were made in Staffordshire, these tea and coffee pots, from about 1750 onwards, but these particular ones date between about 1770 and 1790. In fact, this is the earliest one. This is probably about 1770. This, we're probably looking at 1780, and this one here in a slightly different shape, much more classical, probably about 1790. So you can see a development of style from the sort of bullet shape, if you like, here as well, the bulbous bullet shape, to something that's almost comical, just much more compact. They're all nice, slightly different when you look at the decoration, but each one follows the same idea with the transfer prints in a monochrome pattern, and each one has John Wesley on in a slightly different guise. This one very neoclassical with lots of swags and ribbons. This one here we've got Wesley surrounded by his preachers, a lot of early Methodist preachers. And this one, in fact, has the same, on the other side, has the same verse or message as the other one. Whereas this one here is somewhat more interesting at the back, because it has what is called an acrostic, and an acrostic comes from the French, and it's basically a poem where each first letter of a line makes up a word when read, rather than from left to right, from top to bottom. So in this case it says, humbly inscribed to the Reverend Mr., and we wonder who, because it's actually not said, but it is, Mr. John Wesley. So that's an acrostic poem there. Quite unusual really for these sort of pots. Commemorative ware, of course, quite common at this point. Wesley was a favourite for commemorative ware in the late 1700s, and these would have been quite useful as well, if nothing else. So I'm sure they would have been in use. Some people might have had them on the mantel shelf, but I imagine these would have been used too. Fashionable too, because the Empress of Russia, Catherine the Great, had a set of creamware made in 1774, the so-called frog service, and that consisted of over 800 pieces and was shipped out to Russia by Wedgwood. These are not Wedgwood. Wedgwood ware probably was a bit finer, but still of nice quality. Thank you for joining us.